What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Weber here with the third episode of Sweet Emotions. If you are just joining us, we are doing a mission to Moho, a manned mission, but the first thing that we're going to do is send a probe right over to that Moho right now. I want to gather a little bit of information, namely temperature-wise and gravity-wise. I think it might be a little bit too hot on Moho for our Kerbal pals that we're going to be sending there. So the idea is to land them on the top pole of Moho. And so we're going to send a thermometer there to figure out how hot it is. If it's way too hot, we might want to go on a dark side of Moho. Because it's much, much easier to defend against the cold than it is the heat of the blistering Kerbal sun. So here we are starting out. I've already set up the maneuver node that we need to do, and as you can see, it's going to take about an hour, which, of course, I put that on 4 times physics warp, but it is still kind of ridiculous how long this is taking. Also, I needed to swing around Kerbin a few times before I got out into the solar system to take advantage of the Oberth effect. So here we are after that's happened. If you're not sure what the Oberth effect is, it's basically it's a mathematic principle that says that the faster a rocket is moving, the greater kinetic energy it imparts when it is firing off. And so, as you all know, the closer a rocket gets into a body, the faster it moves. If you don't know it, I just told you. So the closer, if we get further away from Kerbin, it means that we're not getting the maximum efficiency out of our rocket. Now, we're never going to be able to get 100% efficiency out of a rocket, but it's nice to help things out. Here's a little something I wanted to share with you guys. On our way out from Kerbin, we experienced a beautiful eclipse of the Kerbin moon, the Mun, and Kerbal. Very beautiful. Wanted to share that with you. Here I am balancing out the fuel for our next burn. I transferred it all into the middle, but I ended up having to balance those two out on the outside manually. Wouldn't want them unbalanced, otherwise we would just go spinning everywhere. And you can see the Mun and Kerbin in the background there fading away as we move out towards Moho. Now this first thing that we're going to do here is align our planes. I want our planes nice and aligned because, well, I want to be able to get to Moho. If our planes aren't aligned, then I guess there's no getting to Moho, is there? So this is after the jump. We've already aligned our things. I definitely didn't want to show you that because that was basically another half an hour of burning. I guess it wasn't exactly a half hour, maybe 15 minutes or so. And here we are aligning for a intercept with Moho. This is, again, conics patch mode. I believe it was 0. I'll have to put that in the description there. I love this conics patch mode here. It helps out so well. And we're just waiting for our guy to come up here, and he's going to start burning here in a second. And that took quite a lot of Delta V as well. Another really long burn, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip past that for you guys. So after this burn, we see we're actually pretty close in. I'm just going to do a little bit of fine-tuning here. We want to do this as far out as possible because the further away you are, the less delta V that you need in order to get into orbit around a celestial body. And we're going to come up to a problem here pretty soon. I'm not sure if I could have fixed this problem that we're about to run into if I had covered it further out into the solar system. But as you can see, I'm starting to get a little worried about putting on the brakes here. I checked out, look at how much delta V we need, like 7,000 in order to stop our ship, which is actually, I believe that's quite a bit more than the calculations that I made. I think the calculations I did said it would take about 7,000 overall to get to Moho. So as it is right now, it looks like we're at 9,000 delta V in order to get a ship to Moho. Now that's going to be a little bit less to get it back. I believe that probably, if we want to get back to Kerbin, since Kerbin has an atmosphere, we're probably going to subtract, let's see, 4,000 delta V probably from that. So we will need only really 5,000 delta V, probably. Perhaps maybe less than that. Perhaps only 2,000 delta V to get back to Kerbin. But it is still quite a bit of delta V that we're going to need. So as you can see, I started burning way the heck back here. And here I am checking. I decided, hey, you know what? These two dead weights on the side of my ship, I'm just going to get rid of those. And that gave me a lot of extra delta V. It popped my delta V back way up to 8,000 meters per second delta V that I can use. And yes, I'm going to crash these into Moho because I don't want them floating around anywhere. Just a little bit of KSP OCD. I believe many players suffer from that, although it's easy not to. So here we are, getting back in here, and we're going to continue our burn that really took a long time. Yeah, it was, I know in the last episode I said that I was probably going to just leave it there. There are the two crashing into Moho. I know in the last episode I said I'd probably just leave it there and walk away, but it ended up being too much to just leave it there. There was actually quite a bit of stuff to keep an eye on, and I didn't want to lose it. Like this right here, it looks like I might actually lose my encounter with Moho. But we ended up getting it, conveniently, and I was able to make an orbit around Moho at the cost of some of my delta V, but like I said, I packed a little bit of extra fuel in there, so it really was no big deal. Well, not that it was no big deal. It had me on the edge of my seat for a while there. I was afraid we were just going to fly right past it, which would have sucked a lot. So here we are. I've jumped past, and we are into a stable orbit around the top of Moho. This is actually where I realized that Moho is not actually tidally locked with the sun. I was mistaken, just like the scientists were mistaken with Mercury. That being said, it does have a really slow rotation. So here we are. We're going to come in, and I just decided to bring it low and scout, and here I am looking at the surface of Moho and realizing it's pretty mountainous. This is going to be a really tough landing, but you know, it's totally going to be worth it because we don't do things because they're easy. We do them because they're hard, right? So with that, I'm going to leave you here. This has been Weber flying you out in sweet emotions. As always, stay entertained. All right, we're going to decouple here and get ready for landing. Get our maneuver node set and execute this so we can land on pole. And decouple that gives us a little extra delta V. coming down nice and easy for a pretty nice landing. And look, perfect landing spot. Nice. Wait, what is that? Holy